Page 414. One may not allow a contractor to build in one's home on Shabbat, even if the contractor says it's more convenient for him to work on Shabbat. Right? So what's our case? Our case is the guy has to make your driveway. Okay? He hired a non-Jew to build your driveway. So he says, listen, you pay me when I finish the driveway, but you know what? I'm gonna come when I come. You're not telling me what day to come. I come when I'm available, okay? When I'm available, I'll come do it. Don't worry about it, okay? What happens? What day does he come? Shabbat. You see him pull up with his truck on Shabbat to your house. What are you doing here? It's more convenient me today to do the job today. You know, I'm not busy. I have other stuff going on during the week. This is the one day I have available to take up side jobs, you know? So during the week, I'm building huge buildings. You're a small house. I don't have time to do it. I'll do it today. I'm doing it on Saturday. And he thinks he knows Halacha, the guy says, right? Listen, you didn't tell me to come on the Sabbath. I came myself, so you're not doing any sin. So he says, Halacha says, it's not permitted. Since people might mistakenly assume that he instructed the non-Jew to do work on his home on Shabbat. Furthermore, people might assume that he's a paid per hour employee and not paid per contract employee. And it's because people might assume this, that's why it's prohibited. So you gotta tell this guy to do what? I'm sorry, I cannot let you work on my property today. You gotta come a different day. But you didn't tell me to come. Still, public eye sees this, and I'll be suspicious in the community's eyes and not allowed. Oh, that's what we said last class, correct? If you're in a place where there's a non-Jewish neighbor, there's no Jews around, that's fine. So, what about, does that mean only a driveway guy? What about other type of work? No, this halacha includes plumbers, electricians, painters, carpenters, locksmiths, handymen, gardeners. Gardeners is a big one. The lawnmower guys come, right, to blow the leaves, to cut the grass. They come on Saturday. Amigo, what's going on? Yeah, we came to cut your grass. You guys didn't tell me you're coming today. Yeah, it's okay. We like this time. We're going to come this time to cut your grass. You're not allowed to. How can you go and cut my grass? It's okay. You didn't tell us to come. We chose to come. No, it's not allowed to work on my property because it's suspicious in the eyes of the community.
What if it's in the norm in the community?
What?
I went to a community where like there's one guy that cuts everybody's grass. He does it Saturday, Sunday.
Right.
So it was like,
right. So you're saying over there, people already know that this guy comes on his own volition. He's paid per season. He's not paid per hour. Yeah, there are some opinions that say like that, but according to bottom line halacha, we don't permit it. We don't permit it. If a kabbalan comes to work in the house of a Jew on Shabbat, he should be told to leave. He should be told to leave. Also, you think about it, it ruins the atmosphere of Shabbat. It takes away from it. You know, if you have a community where no cars are driving by, even if it's goyim cars driving by, it still takes away from the feeling of Shabbat, as opposed to when there's none of that stuff going on, so you feel it more, right? There's actually some neighborhoods in Israel where they have gates. They close a little gate before Shabbat. That way cars shouldn't pass through, and you walk on the street, there's no cars coming. You feel like it's Shabbat. It's a completely different feeling. Okay. 12. A non-Jewish kabbalan contractor is permitted to do work on his own premises, even though he's working in the item of a Jew. Let's say a guy leaves his car on a Wednesday, and he's going to pick it up next week. He leaves the car by the mechanic, and it's in the non-Jew's mechanic shop. And he decides to work on it on Saturday. So that's fine, even though he's working on my property, on my car. At the end of the day, it's in the non-Jew's premises, so it's okay. 13. If a person sent his clothing to a dry cleaner during the week, and the non-Jew delivers the clothing on Shabbat, it is permitted to wear the clothing on Shabbat, since the non-Jew is delivering it on Shabbat for his own convenience, and not because he was told to do so. However, one is not permitted to go to the store of the non-Jew and take the item from him. One may not go to the store to take the item, even if you walk out of the store while wearing the item. So let's say I had to dry clean my coat or my jacket. So I go and pick up my jacket, and you know what? I don't want to be walking on Shabbat holding the dry cleaning package thing, the plastic and the whole thing. I tell him, take it out for me, just let me wear it. I'll walk out of the house, I'll walk out of the store wearing it. A person should not do that either. Okay, fine. Another common applications, 11 on page 406. It is permitted to give one's clothing to a dry cleaner or tailor prior to Shabbat. However, if there's not enough time for him to complete the work before Shabbat, and one knows that he'll have to do the work on Shabbat, so then one may not specify that he needs the clothing immediately after Shabbat. What happens? I come Friday to the dry cleaner, and I say, hey, I need this right after Shabbat. Sunday morning, I have a party I have to go to. I need this shirt, I need this jacket. Can you do it? He says, yeah, of course I could do it. But the only time I have to do it is Saturday, because you're going to pick up Sunday morning. You're giving me Friday afternoon already. But when I have time to clean it, I only have time to clean it Saturday. So there, you wouldn't be allowed to give it to the dry cleaner. But why? It's a guy, he's doing it in his premises. No, but at the end of the day, you gave him no time. You gave him basically only Saturday to do it. It's like you told him to work on Shabbat. But if I gave him enough time that he could technically do it Friday, or enough time that technically he could do it Sunday, and he just out of his own, convenience chose to do it Saturday, so it's fine. I didn't force him into Saturday. He chose on his own to do Saturday in his own store, not on my premises, on his own store, so that would be allowed. And the same thing would be a halacha for bringing a car to mechanic Erev Shabbat. Okay, fine. 13. It is not permitted to have a gardener come to one's home and tend to the garden on Shabbat. Likewise, it is not permitted to allow a non-Jew to do renovations on one's home on Shabbat. A lot of these renovations are done by people. Oh, you need to fix this sink. Oh, you needed to fix this pipe. Oh, you needed to fix this wall. Okay, I'll come Saturday to do it. No, you can't. You can't come to my house and start working on my house on Saturday. Okay. 15. If a non-Jewish worker built a house on one's behalf on Shabbat, it is proper to not live in that home. Shulchan Aruch writes in Siman Resh Mem Dalet. I'm sorry, right? So over there's an opinion in Shulchan Aruch that says you should not live in a house that is built on Shabbat. The Gemara says that when do you have fires? You have fires when houses are built on Shabbat.
Can you sell it?
What?
Can you sell it? Benefit from it?
Right. So it comes out that anybody, not just the person who built it, anybody should not live in there because it was done through Hilul Shabbat. We learned so many laws about not benefiting from Hilul Shabbat, right? So,
Sell it to going,
yeah, right.
that is benefiting from it. That's fine.
Or no, benefiting in the sense of sitting and living in it. That benefit. That's the benefit we're talking about. Even if only one of the rooms was built on Shabbat, it's proper to not use that room. 16. A house that was built on Shabbat by a non-Jewish contractor should not be used by any Jew, even for one who it was not initially built for. However, it is permitted to sell the home even to a non-Jew. There you go. Okay, fine. 17. If the original owner sold the home to a non-Jew, or if he passed away and the home was inherited by his children, it is permitted to live in that home, right? So let's say a guy built a house on Shabbat, but then he sold it to a non-Jew, and then the Jew got it, so then you will be able to live in that house. 18. It is permitted to buy items from a non-Jewish company, even though they were made on Shabbat, since these items were not made specifically for Jews. Okay, one more halacha. Partnering in a business with a non-Jew. Okay, so let's say you have a partner who's a non-Jew, and the non-Jew wants to have the business open on Shabbat. So you can't just say, okay, you go to work on Saturday, I'll stay home. It doesn't work like that. Because when he works, you're also benefiting because you guys split everything 50-50. Let's say $2,000 is in the register from Saturday's work, right? So now 1,000 is yours and 1,000 is his. He made you $1,000 on Shabbat. You just worked on Shabbat. You made money on Shabbat. So how do you avoid this? So therefore, if a non-Jew works on Shabbat, the Jew works on Sunday, it is as if though the non-Jew has been hired by the Jew to work on Shabbat, and the Jew repays the non-Jew by working on Sunday. So this doesn't work. So therefore what? It's considered that the non-Jew is working for the Jew. So now, in order to circumvent this issue, they must stipulate at the outset, they have to make a new agreement that before forming a partnership, the business will be in the sole jurisdiction of the non-Jew on Shabbat, and that on a corresponding weekday, the business will be full jurisdiction of the Jew. So how do you split it? you have to make the non-Jew the sole owner on Saturday. $2,000 going to the register on Saturday, that's the non-Jews. And now I get Sunday. So let's say $2,000 comes in on Sunday in the register, that's fully for the Jew. It's nothing to do with the Goy, because he owns that day and he owns the other day. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we split. We split that 50-50 like regular. We close. Or let's say maybe if he opens till Shabbat comes at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, and the Goy's still open, so then that has to be that the Goy gets Friday also, or part of Friday, whatever it is. You got to give it away completely, and then he'll give you equivalent time later during the week. If you already made a partnership, you have to dissolve the partnership and redo it according to this situation. And you need this in the contract. You need to have a formal contract how to make this business partnership to work for Shabbat. If a person the non-Jew refuses to make such a partnership, it's a sort to stay in partnership with such a situation. It's considered you're working on Shabbat. Let's say 21. Even if the non-Jew and the Jew have a permitted business arrangement, it is not permitted to employ a third-party non-Jewish worker to do the work if he's paid from the joint funds of the partnership. Right? Let's say the Jew and the non-Jew, they don't go to work on Saturday, but they send from the business. The business pays some company to go do the service for them, and then they split the money that way. That's also asur, right? This is forbidden unless the same employee who normally works during the week would work on Shabbat as well and will not suffer a cut in his salary. All right, let's say you have an IV company, right? You sell IVs. You go and give IVs to people. So you and your non-Jewish friend, we don't work on Saturday. We agreed. We don't do Saturdays. So what happens? But, we got phone calls that they want people on Saturday to get IVs. So we hired another company to send a nurse to go and give the IVs. And it's not us. We didn't go. Still, it's not allowed because it's considered that you have a non-Jew working for you on Shabbat. You have to, this guy that you sent has to be that he works for you the entire week. And then you could pay him bavla. You could pay him for the entire work that he did during the week as well. But otherwise, just to send them on Saturday would be a Baruch Me'olam.